Hello, and thanks for popping into Aha Moments. This one is entitled Coincidence with a question mark and was originally aired on August 7th, 2023. Now, they go out by email on our subscriber list. So if you want to get your aha moments every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, then definitely subscribe to that list. Or, you know what, happy to have this discussion. I'm going to read the aha moment to you, and then we're going to kind of unpack a few things. So let's talk about aha moments. You've had aha moments before, right? Sometimes those flashes of brilliance that hit you out of nowhere, and sometimes they can be really subtle, sometimes they can be super impactful, but whatever they are, they tend to change your perspective. So the aha moments that I write are ones in which we'll take ordinary everyday scenarios and maybe just do a little bit of a shift so that you take a different view on something that you probably already had experienced or learned or seen or heard before. But you know what? Always good to look at things in a little different way, right? So I'm going to call it the aha. We're going to read it. Not coincidence. And then I'm going to share a couple of stories with you here. And then maybe you can share a couple of stories with me. Okay, coincidence. This is a long one. It was normally they're under 60 seconds, but this one I put at 85. So I'm going to go a little slower. It's probably going to take me a little longer than 85 to go through this. But, I think it's worth sometimes reading something and pausing as you go, and absorbing the content as opposed to just kind of driving through something and scanning and not getting the lessons, right? So let's get the lesson here. So as many times as I've experienced the law of intention in real form, I'm still fascinated by its predictability. The law of intention is a sub-law of the law of vibration that states what we put out into the cosmos, the way of thought energy creates reality. Essentially, the outcome unfolds based on what we broadcast into the unified field. Now, this isn't something that's taught in school, so most are unaware of this magnificent capability of ours to influence our reality. And when we draw things to us, think it's a coincidence. It's anything but. Now, here's the thing. The law makes no judgment as to what your thoughts or emotions are. It simply delivers what you think about. It can work both for you or against you, depending on your thoughts, vibrations. I had a fear of big bodies of water. Years ago, I was encouraged to parasail, and with fear and trepidation, I agreed to be hoisted into the air from the back of a boat. The flying part was awesome. I love being up high, but when the boat driver decided to slow the boat to dip my toes into the water, the result was horrifying. As he sped up the boat in an effort to bring me back into the air, the opposite occurred. I spun underwater like a lure on a fishing rod and with hardly a breath. Eventually, the driver stopped the boat, at which point I came to the surface, bruised and traumatized. My fear of big bodies of water being more powerful than I was delivered in real form. Coincidence? Recently, I made the decision to move. My realtor and I jumped on listings as they came out, and I wasn't seeing anything I desired. Then the perfect place appeared, and before we left the property, I asked my realtor to quickly prepare an offer. She did, but another offer was also presented. That evening, while in line at the store, I closed my eyes and I sent the owner of the property intention suggested. He picked me and my offer. Then I texted my realtor that I was doing my happy dance knowing that the property was mine. Attempted a long story short here. Next morning, the realtor texted me the owner of the property had accepted the other offer. My response was, no, that's the wrong answer. That is not the way this is supposed to play out. At that moment, I went outside, I closed my eyes again, and I sent the property owner more vibes. Within 10 minutes, my realtor texted me saying the owner looked at my website, thought I was great, changed his mind, and decided to give me the property. Coincidence? Aha. Thoughts become things. The law of intention, the law of attraction, the law of cause and effect, however you wish to refer to it, is a sub-law of the law of vibration. It's precise and dependable. The sheer knowledge that we have that kind of power to send out intention and anticipate receiving it in true form is really quite spectacular, that many shy from the responsibility. Manifestation hurdles could be: one, the pattern thinking established when we were young; to filter it is fully in control, and actions are a mirror of that belief mosaic. In other words, you put out an intention, but your programmed belief counteracts it. Remember, it's your vibration that counts. So if you're saying one thing, but energetically holding a different belief, a vibration, not words, it's the vibration, not the words, that will win every time. Or another manifestation hurdle, belief is our disbelief in our manifestation power. The cognitive dissonance that occurs when a concept contrary to your belief is presented, you reject it, is actually a form of self-sabotage. You are not aware of the language you're using in casual conversation that counteracts your intentions. I changed fear of big bodies of water to respect for big bodies of water. Amazing what that small difference does. Just trying to scroll down here, and my mouse is giving me issues. Try this. Identify one paradigm, one long-standing belief that counteracts what you really want. Then decide right here, right now, you're going to replace it with a new empowering belief. Then create a small goal or intention inside of that new belief. Get emotionally charged with its reality. Then get into action following as though it is already so. If you dare, share your intention with someone who agrees to police your language to ensure your vibes stay true. With power comes responsibility. Are you ready to receive what you truly want? Big question, huh? So those are two stories of many, many, many of things that I recognize that I've manifested. Probably a lot of things have come that I was unconsciously attracting. One of them being that parasail. And I use that example because there are times when we hold a fear and then our biggest fears come true. And that is unfortunate when it happens. But the point is if that's the vibration we're in, if that's what we're thinking about, then that's what we're going to bring to us, right? It's about aligning the vibration with what it is that we want, in some cases, what we don't want. If that's what we're thinking about. And again, I point to the language when I say dare to choose an intention, but also choose somebody to police your language, to catch you when you say, let's say that your manifestation desire is something around money. But all of the old beliefs, maybe money doesn't grow on trees, or you're not worthy, or all the things that, were kind of programmed into you, into me, into us when we were younger, that counteract it. So we need to overcome those beliefs, right? We need to adopt a new belief, and our language around that is really important. So sometimes we see other people being successful, and that was them. They've got family money, they've got, they went to school, they've got support, like whatever it is that, somehow you decided that they were the chosen one and not you. Then you need to come back, and again, I'm always talking to myself here in aha moments. Believe me, I'm the first one to throw myself under the bus when it comes to this stuff. It's been a long time of study and a long time of policing myself in my own language. And I'll share with you in a bit that how I got very much off track with that. And it was really sabotaging me. But having that language and changing that belief and having that language about it. So in other words, anything that, let's say that you're not successful in something that you want to do, and you go, I never seem to get these bids. I never seem to get, the RFPs. I don't know why we don't do, whatever it is, listen to that language that you're saying and ensure that the language that you're using is the ones that, even if you say the word yet, I didn't get this bid yet. I haven't been able to figure this out yet. So you're framing it in a way that that your intention is coming, or that you're open to learn, or that there's something that you're willing to change in order to start to attract what it is that you want. So the other one about the moving, I can tell you that was 100%. That's exactly how it went down. There were some other things that happened in the meantime, but essentially, two very powerful vibes. But I also have a life script. It's a few pages, and I read it pretty much every day. And I started, because of my training with Dr. Jack Kruse, listening to many videos and researching him about the energy from the sun and the earth. Many times when I read my script, I am barefoot on the grass facing the sun. No, I'm creating as much energy around it. And at first, when I started reading it, I rewrote it 2 or 3 months ago. And it took me a little bit of time to to start to own it. And the way that I did when I was reading it, it's very difficult when you're reading something in the present tense that does not represent your current reality. But when you know that the mind's eye does not know the difference between what is imagined and what is real, that it is important to get energized about what it is that you're writing, what it is that you're saying to yourself and openly, and I mean like your personal thoughts as well as what you're putting out there. That's what I say about policing your language, not just the things that you're saying on the outside, but the things that you're saying to yourself, what that self-talk is, what that self-language is. If there's any beating yourself up or standing yourself in the way, all of that is just going to create hurdle after hurdle, because the universe is listening to all of that, right? So your vibration is sending that out. So when I read this, and I think I had put a little note at the bottom of the aha, is that I have whatever, let's see, it says being in vibration of what I desire, and I have a list of the different things that I desire in there, is mine, and it only takes a brief, deliberate, and focused moment of attention to bring whatever I require to me. Most people would say, that's impossible. I'm not saying that that's real. I'm not saying that that happens all the time, but that is my belief system now. That is my belief system. And when I read my script, I take my time through it. And each time I read it, I kind of emphasize different words and I get energized by it. If there's anything in there that does not feel totally aligned, it gets tossed. I rewrite it because just like, no, that's not what I want, or that's not what I'm feeling today. Well, the way the house went down was, was exactly like that. It was exactly like that. And, I've told the story a bunch of times, and I decided to tell it openly because people are not like, no, really? That actually happened? It happens all the time. It's just that we don't frame our intentions that specifically and then watch for the synchronicities to happen. There was, I wanted to set up a couple of bank accounts, and I won't go into the big picture because again, it's a really long story, but I only had an hour. I had somebody with me and we needed to go to 2 institutions, and it was on a Saturday when they closed in an hour. We didn't realize until we went in the first institution that, the average person standing at the teller couldn't set up these accounts. But the first one, somebody happened to cancel an appointment, which allowed us to get in. It took us 40 minutes of the hour that we had before closing. So we had to hightail it to the next institution. And on the way, I said to my son was with me, and I said, let's create this scenario a second time, which we did. We had somebody who we could tell by her body language initially that she didn't really want to help us, but I guess she saw the look on our faces and the vibes is like, we're not leaving until we get this done. And sure enough, she helped us in a big way. It was Saturday, she ended up staying an extra 15 minutes. And I don't wish that on people. It's not like I was intending for anybody to work extra hours that day or anything. It was that was the only window that we had to create something that we needed to have happen. So many things in terms of people doing assembly work, deliveries, like I can't tell you how many things. It is because once I rewrote that life script and I started really getting into it and checking again very deliberately my beliefs and my language about what I was expecting and what I was anticipating, things started to change. So I want that for you too. That's why we're talking about it. That's why I recorded this video. So 50 simple ways to release the shackles of self-sabotage. The date right now is still around August 15th. That we'll do a soft launch, probably a big splash in October, but we're going to get that going, and you're going to have access to that. Also, the Human You University and a new website coming. So all of that is in the works. I couldn't be more excited. As I talk about it, it's like, this is work I really want to do. I feel so on purpose, and I want so much for us to do this together. Gosh, of all that I've done over the years, I've enjoyed great success with some absolutely phenomenal people, and always enjoyed my work. This work, it's just time for me to do this. So, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm creating some really amazing partners, and others are getting excited about what we're doing too. So I hope you are. I look forward to you coming into Human You. It is a membership-based program for $11.11 a month. And there'll be lots of really great content in there, including breaking down all of the chapters of 50 Simple Ways to Release the Shackles of Self-Sabotage, so that we create a lot of awareness around the universal laws, how we stand in our own way, and start really honoring ourselves and our spirit and our maker, and be on purpose, right? Okay, that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful, as this will be released, it'll be a long weekend. I hope you have a wonderful long weekend. And as always, succeed deliberately.